moment I was homeless and I couldn't get to my house. And finally when I got to my house, I found out it was flooded and it was a total disaster and I had nowhere to go.
I've lived here my whole life. Just kind of don't know right now.
My name's Destiny, and this is my daughter Melanie. Say hi.
No, my name is Stephen K. It's only one way to say it. It's kind of like your world been turned upside down, you know? Like 1 minute, but I just thank God that I didn't, lose my life like other people lost their lives and their children. And, it's not as devastating as that, so I just take it as a blessing to still be alive, because you can get things back, but you can't get your life or your loved ones back.
To see that the devastation in the city that I've been living in for the last 30 years is heartbreaking. And yesterday I went out thinking I could run some errands, and I couldn't get on the west side of Houston because everything is still shut down, barricaded, you can't drive.
I knew that, like, me and my auntie, we were gonna be the only ones really having to do anything, cause she was asleep, and then when she woke up, it really wasn't much she could do. The water was, too hot, and so we just did as much as we can. The floor started flowing off the carpet, and I'm like, I'm wondering if we're gonna make it, cause I'm really scared.
When my mother called me and told me she was life-flighted to the hospital, it's like my heart fell out the bottom of my soul, because I couldn't be with them, and I couldn't call the hospital to get information over the phone, because they don't give information over the phone. So it was just kind of a waiting deal, but she turned out to be okay. She's a lot better now. She's still trying to get her appetite back, but I'm just glad to finally see their little faces.
Just take my little losses, really don't. When you really look at it, it's not as devastating as life itself. So it kind of gives you an insight about how precious life is and how we should respect it more, and like treat people with the same compassion that we would want if we lost our loved ones or something.
The car is parked because I'm here at the convention center trying to get help. And it's just hard to be one day with something and the next day with nothing. And I have so much stress on me right now. And I hope and pray that they will get to me soon.
We tried to get assistance. We were stuck actually in the flood for a whole day and a half. We were constantly calling. 911 was off the line. We stayed stuck. Luckily for our neighbors, they had like the jet skis. They had to jet ski us out. I think it was probably the scariest thing I've done.
Saturday night, I was leaving a friend's house to catch the bus home, which is actually like literally around the corner. Maybe a 20-minute ride on the bus, and I'm waiting on the bus. I checked the bus schedule, so I knew what time the bus should have been there. However, the buses had been stopped. They stopped them from running. And I proceeded to walk home, and I seen water, and I seen cars at the gas station, but I didn't realize the seriousness of it until I stepped off to take off walking, and the water was almost up to my knees.
And I'm thinking, like, I'm scared. I'm scared for my mama's life because the water is getting hot and we have adapters and the sockets are not that hot. And then the water is up to our ankles, so I'm like, oh, I hope my mama unplugs all this stuff. So when I got a call that she was okay, I felt like this deep, deep relief. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, and I started praying. And then when we got rescued, I was like, oh, I hope to see my mama here. And when I didn't see her, I was still kind of worried because, you know, even though I knew she wasn't gonna be here, I still, you know, really wanted her to be here. And when I seen her, I was just so happy, and I knew that when I prayed that God, He will fix it for me.
I walked all the way home, and once I got there, the bayou was already over flooded. I couldn't sleep. I said, well, no, I'm not gonna sleep. I'm just gonna watch this water. And I was on the phone with a friend of mine, and I said, well, let me just go look, just to go see. And I had only been there, I was at my father's church. I had only been there maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And when I got there was no water in the driveway. But in that short span of time, I just went to look, and the water was coming into the sanctuary, and I proceeded to, you know, plug things and try to put stuff away. It was in the bathroom, you know, over my ankles. So I called my parents and I let them know. I say, the church is not gonna hold up. I'm not gonna be able to stay here. You know, I have to leave. And when I went out into the street on Hirsch Road, it was up to my knees. And I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified because I realized I was actually in the middle of a flash flood for water to rise, you know, the way that it did.
Boy, you paddled all the way out. You made it to the dry ground. You're almost there.
I've only been here like, and I've just been trying to ride my bunk, trying to stay stressed. Right now I'm fit to go into the medical department and the food stamp department because they said they could help me too, you know. So that's where I'm heading now, over here, to get something for the stress.
My first day down here because they've got so many volunteers to come down. They've got so many groups trying to come out here. So this we got approved to come do yesterday. So it just happened to work that we were able to come down. So this is my first day down here. My work started back up yesterday, so it's been crazy trying to plan it all and still be able to come feel like I'm doing my part down here.
In the background, you can hear some high school kids singing Disney show tunes, and they came out here just to lift the spirits of the folks that are here in the shelter. And it's really important, and it's been great to see everyone from Houston put their arms around everyone who's been displaced. And it's just wonderful because, you know, you see smiles, you get hugs, you hear people saying, thank you so much for being here. And for us, it's just it's a pleasure and it's a privilege to be here serving.
I wanted to be able to contribute in a way that would use my skills to benefit others, and I love making kids smile. And I mean, I figured if I could, you know, basically just come in costume and just cheer some kids up, that would just make them feel so much better.
You're looking good.
At the moment, I realized that church was flooding as quick as it did. I just hauled tail as quickly as I could to higher ground. And my parents were around the corner, but I didn't think it was gonna get that bad, and they didn't either. But their neighbor across the way, they live in a 2-story house, so they was able to go there until they were able to be rescued.
I think the scariest thing is when you wake up or you get up and you find the water level high enough to where it reaches the wall outlet, you know, and you have your electricity on, and you think, like, if I hadn't woken up, I don't know what would have happened.
People died in the storm, and it's not like over yet. It's not over yet. And they still finding people, and they still have people that's still missing. And the people, like I saw this family last night, they found them in a covert or something, and the man was like, he was like, you know, he was just like, so it was his whole family, like. Kind of like being in a service or something. You kind of look out for your neighbor or your, you know, your best friend or whatever. But it still makes it hard to be without, but it's a great place to have, to be here or somewhere like, you know, Lakewood and all these different places that open their doors to people who don't have anything, because they know that, you know, there's, you know, that's God, you know. And God is universal. He has no races. He's not racist. So he brings people's hearts together like this.
I think maybe some people are giving the Red Cross a hard time and stuff, and I don't think that's warranted. I think they're doing a very good job. Because I've worked in nonprofit and volunteer efforts before many years ago, and this is probably one of the most organized ones I've ever seen.
Here we are, you know, I was able to make it out trying to volunteer. I know there was a lot of shifts, a lot of people want to volunteer, so people got turned away, and finally I got called by Comic Palooza, who I'm with today, as Wolverine, or Old Man Logan. We dressed up as a bunch of superheroes, princesses, villains, you name it, you know. We're just here trying to make kids happy, you know, try to distract them, get their mind off of what's really going on, until, you know, things settle down and people can find new places to stay, or, you know, go under repairs if they're sticking around, you know.
Houston is starting to get back to normal, and you know, I noticed that trash was picked up yesterday. That's one of those things that has to get done, and now that things like that are happening, you know, Houston is starting that rebound, and everyone keeps saying Houston's strong, and they're showing it every single day.
They have been so helpful. It's amazing how they make you feel like you do still have something, you know, but you know you ain't got nothing. And it's just that I don't know what to do but stay here until they relocate me. I lost everything. Just sad. And then there's so many others that's in the same shape and worse. So, you know, either way it is, I'm blessed because I've got my life. That's one thing, you know, and the rest is irrelevant. I just want to be relocated in something where I can have shelter besides just staying here, you know.
I had been staying at the Salvation Army, and you know, they didn't seem to be able to deal with the emergency situation, and we were about to get stranded there because the water was coming up, and me and about 5 or 6 other guys said, you know, let's get out of here before we're stuck, you know, because they had had a death at the facility over there, and we all got very uncomfortable after that because they didn't seem to be able to raise anyone on 911 after about 35 minutes on the phone.
I live a little more up north, but I got my entire area stayed dry, but where I worked on my way there by Cypress Wood all flooded, and then south of me all flooded. So I kind of had my little protective bubble. I drove through it to go to work because I work and have to check on animals and things like that. And then my road closed, so I couldn't go anymore. But yeah, I felt really lucky to be in that little dry area, but I was able to watch everything else around me, and that was a very grateful moment.
A lot of our neighbors and myself, we hung around together, you know, just kept each other company. My wife actually went out of town on a business trip, and I've yet to see her. So that's kind of, yeah, you eventually go a little crazy being inside the house for so long without your spouse, you know. But I kept in contact with her the whole time, and talking to her, keeping her up to date. You know, flights got canceled, so you can't really control that. So it's just out of my hands, out of my control. So I have to accept that. So hopefully I'll be seeing her this weekend.
Nighttime, we have this game, that game Trouble, and nighttime every night we play it. It'd be fun. It was this one friend, we played with Barbie dolls, and I had she had an Elsa and I had an Anna doll. And she had a comb, I had a brush, and every day we used to comb their hair out. But she found somewhere to go.
The water just kept rising and rising. So it was. First thing I did was turn off the electricity first. Then I tried to save whatever I could save as far as the little clothes that we could get. My second thing was I went up to upstairs neighbors because the water started rising fast. Luckily they let us stay on the balcony before it got too high up. The next thing, I called my dad. I asked my dad, for help. I called the help lines and everything, the flood lines, Red Cross. I just kept looking at the weather, just watching the water pass by, watch it rise. It kind of hurts to see everything that you work so hard for get ruined. was scared. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I felt regret for not leaving because of my child. I didn't know what it was gonna be like swimming through the water. I didn't know if I was gonna be able to handle it because how high it was and because I had my daughter with me. I didn't know what exactly was in the water. I've seen a couple of snakes come at us, and I was just terrified that one wrong step, I might lose grip on my kid, or she might drown, or something might have happened.
I just realized this morning that my storage completely flooded. So we lost everything in there too. So getting here and seeing that we could still, we can get clothes, to still kind of move forward. I have hope. I'm not gonna say I'm relieved because I'm not, but I do have hope. And I see there's a lot of assistance here for us. So I'm just praying that FEMA go ahead and process, my registration and everything, and we can move forward. Everything has to be replaced. They hadn't even started school. They were supposed to start school Monday. So brand new school clothes, school shoes, everything's gone, But there's a lot of people here, a lot of people with good hearts. So I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay.